Hey, what's going on everybody? Mr. Rogue here, and it's definitely been a while since my last upload. It's right now August 10th, and my last upload was June 6th or June 8th, or somewhere around there, somewhere around early June, because I remember my last upload was the Sonic Superstars analysis video when that trailer first came out, when they first announced Sonic Superstars at Summer Games Fest. So that was my last video, and I've kind of been MIA on YouTube pretty much since then. I haven't been completely MIA from the internet. Like, if you follow my Twitter,
please go follow my Twitter at Mr. Rogue here. Please.
You'll see that I haven't been like completely silent. I haven't completely gone off the face of the earth. I've been active, but as far as like providing YouTube content, I've kind of just been radio silent, and I apologize. I did have plans to upload throughout the summer, but I got busy over the summer. It was hard to find time to, find a quiet place just for like an hour or so I could record, because sometimes, depending on what the video I'm doing, it might take like an hour for me to record. It might take 30 minutes for me to record. Maybe it takes like 2 hours for me to record if it's like a long video. But it just depends, and I've never really had like any time this summer just to like, be by myself in like a quiet place, because obviously I don't want to record when there's like noise, because then that'll affect the quality of the video. But point is, I haven't really had time to just make a video this summer. But now that school's kind of starting up, and I'm going to have a little bit more free time to, record and everything, I should be producing videos more often. I don't want to give a like set video schedule, because I don't want to like create standards that I can't live up to. Like, I don't want to say, oh, I'm going to upload a video every week or every 2 weeks, because then I feel like I'm going to be pressured to making content that I maybe don't want to make. So I'm just gonna make content whenever I feel like it. Whenever something gets announced, I'll make a video. Whenever I want to, analyze something, I'll make a video. Whenever I want to talk about something, I'll make a video. I'll just make a video whenever it seems necessary, whenever it seems right to make a video. But anyways, just to get back into the rhythm of things, I just want to make a quick catch-up video, just to review all the news that we've gotten throughout the summer, throughout the past 2 months, because there's been a lot of news. There's been a lot of Sonic news. There's been a lot of Nintendo news. There's just, in general, right, there's been a lot of news. So I'm just going to touch up on everything, and let's get straight into it. Alright, so first things first, Sonic Prime Season 2. Now, Sonic Prime Season 2. I did start watching it. I did. When it first came out, the day it first came out, I did start watching it. And I watched the first episode, I watched the second episode, and, I wasn't binge watching it, but it was like whenever I found time, I would watch an episode, or I would watch a couple episodes. And I got to around episode 5 or 6, and I really don't know why. I can't really explain it, but I kind of just stopped watching the show. Like, I don't really know why. I guess I just wasn't captivated in the story or in the plot or anything. I guess I just wasn't as interested in it, but for some reason around episode 5, episode 6, I kind of just stopped, and I just never went back to it. And like every once in a while, I'd be like, wow, like Sonic Prime's been out for a while. I should probably finish season 2. And I would remind myself, but I never had like the urge. I never like had enough interest in the show to actually like get up and start watching the show, So at some point, I kind of just decided to, like, screw it. I'm just gonna go on Twitter, and I don't really care if I saw spoilers. I'm not gonna talk about spoilers here, even though I do want to, because I did see a spoiler online at like around the end of season 2, and I really want to talk about it because I think the screenshots that I did see were super fucking dope, but I don't want to talk about spoilers, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. I can't really review season 2 because I obviously didn't watch all of it, and I just don't have a good grasp on like the season and what I think about it and my thoughts. So maybe someday I'll go back to season 2 and then I'll make another video about it. But for now, I guess Sonic Prime Season 2 was good. Obviously not good enough to keep my like attention. Maybe I just have shit attention spans. Like, maybe my attention span just like is super fucking bad. Like, my brain is just corrupted from YouTube Shorts and TikTok and Twitter and all that. But I don't know, it just didn't keep my interest. And like I said, maybe I'll go back to watching it some other day. But for now, Sonic Prime Season 2, it was alright. I heard good stuff from it. Other people were saying like, oh yeah, this is way better than Season 1. I think the show's way better. I can't wait, to see what they do next. And I'm happy to hear that, because obviously Sonic's my boy. I love to see him, thrive and succeed. But Sonic Prime Season 2 just, I don't know, it didn't really cut it for me. Around the same time we got Sonic Prime Season 2 though, we also got Sonic Frontiers DLC number 2. So we got the second DLC update. It was the Sonic birthday update, so it came out on Sonic's birthday. It came out, I think the same day that the Sonic Central came out, I'm pretty sure it came out like that night. And I gotta say, this DLC was a lot better than I was expecting it to be. Originally, when I first saw the roadmap, when they came out with the roadmap last December, I think, they had like DLC 1 with like photo mode, challenge mode, all that. They had DLC 2, and then they had DLC 3. And DLC 2 just like looked the least hyped to me, you know? Like, I think the 3 pillars that the DLC 2 column had was, it was New Coco's, Sonic's birthday, and like island challenge mode. I'm pretty sure it was like island challenges. And to me, that just like didn't seem interested. Like, new Cocos just seemed like Cocos were gonna get new outfits. Like, there wasn't really gonna be anything like special with that. Sonic's birthday, we really didn't know what that even meant. So there's nothing to be hyped about for Sonic's birthday. Like, we don't even know what that means. And then Island Challenge mode, again, that really, we don't know what that means. So leading up to update 2, I just wasn't really that hyped for it. Like, obviously I was gonna play it, but I wasn't expecting much, you know? But then the update came out, and I was surprisingly shocked at how good it was. It was way better than DLC 1 in my opinion. Just because they came out with so many things that weren't originally announced in that roadmap. So obviously we got the island challenges, which were action chains, and you would basically like run around the island collecting yellow orbs, destroying enemies, and basically trying to get an S rank within, I think, a minute of time. And if you got all the S ranks, like if you went to all the island challenges and you got S ranks on all of them, then you would get the drop dash. And the drop dash was leaked shortly after DLC 1 came out, but it came out in DLC 2, and the drop dash is so broken. Like, it is crazy the things you could do with the drop, or not the drop dash, what the fuck am I saying? The spin dash. What the hell? The spin dash. The spin dash is so broken. You can go so fast. You could jump over huge like canyons and stuff. You like, the speed that you get with it is just insane. It's basically just a better version of the drop dash. Like, if I'm just being like genuinely honest, obviously you can spin dash from the ground, but you can also drop dash with it too, and it's just like a way better version of the drop dash. And not only did they add just like the spin dash and the island challenges, but they also, obviously we had Sonic's birthday, and they added a new HUD. They gave Sonic a new costume. They pretty much like redecorated like all the islands basically in celebration of Sonic's birthday. And I think that was really cool. I think it was a good way to, you know, get the community together to play Sonic Frontiers on like that birthday kind of mode. I loved the night of like just watching streamers just like play the game and just have fun with it while I was also playing the game. And like chat was going crazy too, and it was like it felt like, you know, a great moment for the Sonic community. But by far the best addition of the update, the thing that made the update in my opinion better than update 1, it wasn't New Game Plus. Although New Game Plus is a cool addition to the game, I know a lot of people were asking for like, hey, where's New Game Plus? I want to play through the game again, but I really don't feel like grinding to get all my skills and all my speed and all my defense and strength again. Where's New Game Plus? And we didn't get it in DLC 1, but we did get it in DLC 2. So I'm happy for the people that wanted a New Game Plus. Personally, I didn't really care if we got New Game Plus. Obviously, I would be happy if we did, but if we didn't, I wasn't gonna, you know, be sad or disappointed or anything. Like, it is what it is, you know. But by far the best part of this update is not specifically momentum, but they added like stats in the options. Not stats, but like sliders. So you could adjust like your jump deceleration. You can adjust like your speed deceleration or whatever. I don't remember the exact titles, but you could adjust basically how far Sonic jumps, or not even how far Sonic jumps, but just how much he slows down when he jumps. And you can basically just turn that slider all the way down, and you basically just have momentum. Like it is momentum. And yes, I'm saying the M word, momentum. And I really gotta say, it's so much better, like traversing the islands with momentum. With momentum, it feels so much nicer. I don't have a PC, I play Sonic Frontiers mainly on my Switch. Sometimes I play it on my Xbox, but mainly I play it on my Switch. Don't judge me. It really doesn't look that bad. Stop shitting on Switch. It's not that bad. But because I didn't have a PC and I was stuck with the console versions, I couldn't download like momentum mods or anything like that. Like all these other people were saying how, oh, the game's so much better if you have momentum mods on. And obviously I can't download momentum mods because I'm on console, but I always wanted to try it out. Now I can. Well, not really, because they're not the mods, but they basically just added momentum into the game with these sliders, and it feels so much nicer. Sonic moves and just flows so smooth, you know? Like, before, it really felt like a slog to move around the islands, because obviously if you just held boost, you'd run fast, but if you're trying to like jump across like rivers, or if you're trying to get on specific platforms while you're running at full speed, Sonic will just slow down to a crawl. And it was really frustrating, because when I'm playing a Sonic game, I want to move fast all the time. I want to keep my momentum. If I'm running fast, I don't want to stop running fast because I jumped, you know, like that's just stupid. But with this update, they made it so if you jump, you keep your speed. And it's so much nicer, and it's a little hard to explain just talking about it. You kind of have to play it for yourself to really understand how much nicer it feels. But it really does. It's a major difference, and it's a change that I was not expecting Sega to implement, but so glad that they did, because it genuinely elevates the game like another point. Like, I originally would give this game a 7 out of 10. But just with this like small little change alone, I would easily make it an 8, because it's so much nicer to just run around all the islands with the jump deceleration all the way down. It's perfect. Then pretty much the same day, or I think it was a day difference, from the Sonic Frontiers DLC 2, we got Sonic Origins Plus. And I don't have Sonic Origins Plus. I don't have the game, and I'm not really planning on getting the game. I've already played Sonic 1, I've played Sonic 2, I've played Sonic CD. Sorry, I'm not shelling out $30 or $40 or whatever the price is to just play Sonic 3 and Knuckles, because really, if I do get that game, I'm really only going to play Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I really don't have any motivation to go back and play Sonic 1 or Sonic 2 or Sonic CD. I really probably would only play Sonic 3, and after playing Sonic 3, I would just be done with the game. So, sorry, I'm not shelling out $30, $40 just to play Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I heard it's a really good game, and I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm just not spending that much money just to play one game, you know? But from what I heard, Sonic Origins Plus is alright. It's an alright DLC. Obviously, I cannot, speak for myself. I cannot say whether I like it or not, whether it's good or not, whether you should buy it or not, because I don't have it. But I heard it's just alright. I heard, like, if you already have Sonic Origins and you just want more Sonic Origins, like a little bit more content, then you could just shell out $10, I think the price of the DLC is, to, you get Amy, you get like 12 Game Gear games, I think. But I'm just gonna be honest, the Game Gear games look like absolute shit. I would really only buy Sonic Origins Plus for Amy, if I'm being completely honest. But, I mean, it looks alright. It's nothing special. Again, I can't say whether or not you should buy it because I don't have it, but just judging from an outsider's perspective, it looks alright. It doesn't seem, it's not a DLC that you absolutely need. It's not like, oh man, like this DLC elevates the game to a whole new level. You really need to get this DLC. It's kind of just a DLC that's, it's there to be there. Like, if you really do want it, you can get it, but you don't necessarily have to. It doesn't change the game in any significant way. But moving on from Sonic news, we're gonna get into some Nintendo news. Now, there have been some Nintendo news, floating around. Obviously, you have like your Pikmin 4. I know Pikmin 4 came out this summer. I did not buy Pikmin 4. I did play a little bit of the demo, and I do like the demo. I'm not gonna buy the game now though. Maybe, if it goes on sale, maybe on Black Friday if it goes on sale, or just some other time if it ever goes on sale, maybe I'll shell out like $40 for the game, because I think the game looks good, and when I was playing the demo, I was having a fun time. But as of now, I'm not really gonna shell out $60 just to play Pikmin 4, a game that I don't even know if I'm gonna actually like or not. I do like the demo, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm gonna like the entire game. But the major Nintendo Switch news that I want to cover is the Nintendo Switch 2 rumors. So Not too long ago, we got some rumors that the Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo's next-gen console, will be coming out holiday 2024, or pretty much late 2024. And, these rumors come up every once in a while, just people trying to, gain clout just by, throwing out random release dates. Oh, like Nintendo Switch 2 coming out 2023, early 2024. And usually those rumors are wrong. They usually don't happen. But this time around, from pretty credible sources, we are getting a lot of just news and rumors that they are gonna release a next-gen console late 2024. And honestly, it makes sense. It makes sense if they're aiming for a holiday 2024 release date. Obviously, one of the first reasons why it would make sense for them to release it in 2024 is that's going to be the Switch's 7th year. That's going to be the 7th year that the Switch has, been released. And around this day and age, most modern consoles have a 7-year lifespan before the next gen console comes out. So, the Xbox One had 7 years before the Xbox Series X and S came out. The PS4 had 7 years before the PS5 came out. And it seems like Nintendo it just makes sense if Nintendo's going to follow that, that same pattern as other companies. They had the Nintendo Switch released in 2017. It's been 7 years now, or it's going to be 7 years. It makes sense for them to release another console just because their current console is just starting to get so old. Another reason why it makes sense, though, is just because the game lineup is just starting to get super dry. I mean, the last really, big hitter game that we've had is Tears of the Kingdom. And I know Tears of the Kingdom only came out a couple months ago, but Tears of the Kingdom really feels like the Switch's last hurrah, like the Switch's last fist pump before it inevitably starts, fading into the shadows, starting to become just an old console that people don't really care about anymore. The games are starting to get, really dry. Obviously, we're still getting good games. We're still getting Pikmin. They're still supporting games like Splatoon. But it just seems like the future is looking very bleak and just very empty compared to, a few years ago where we were getting, new Smash Bros. Announcements, new Splatoons, new Zelda announcements, like Hyrule Warriors and Tears of the Kingdom. We were Fire Emblem, Xenoblade, but it just seems like now, in the current state we're in, there's just not a lot of games coming up, and I don't really see a future where Nintendo is going to announce another Mario game for this system, since we already have a mainline Mario game for this system. It doesn't make sense if Nintendo is going to announce another Zelda game for this system, because they already have 2 mainline Zelda games on this system, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. It doesn't make sense for them to announce any more big hitters, because all the big hitters they could put on the console and they could announce is already on there. You already have your Mario Karts, your Smash Bros, your Marios, your Zeldas, your Kirbys, your Pikmins. Really, the only other big hitters that they really could announce is like a Metroid Prime 4 or Star Fox. But other than that, they really have nothing else. They've really got nothing else. They even have a Wii Sports sequel, Nintendo Switch Sports. It really just doesn't feel like they have a lot to work with. And the next, ideal thing to do is to make a new console and then start releasing, your big hitters on your new console. You release another Mario Kart, another Splatoon, or maybe you port Splatoon 3 onto your new console. You port Smash Bros onto your console. Maybe you make a Super Smash Bros Ultimate Deluxe. I don't give a fuck. They really just have nothing else left. It doesn't really feel like the Switch has a future. At most, it's really probably got 1 or 2 years left of maybe a couple more ports. Maybe they port Metro Prime 2 and 3. Maybe they've already ported all the Pikmins. Maybe they port Mario Galaxy 2. Maybe they port Wind Waker to the Switch. Really, I only see Nintendo supporting the Switch for another year before their next gen console, mainly with ports and with remasters, because it really doesn't feel like Nintendo is going to release another big hitter like Tears of the Kingdom or Smash or Odyssey. They're probably saving all those next main big hitter games for their next gen console, which makes sense, because if you want to sell your next gen console, you got to put your next gen games on there. No one's going to buy your next gen console if they could buy all your next gen games on your current console. Another reason, and probably my last reason as to why it makes sense for Nintendo to release another console next year is, and this is more of like a personal thing, this isn't really like they have to release another next-gen console because of this, but it really is something that if they do release a next-gen console, they could really fix this issue that the current console has, you know? So, the reason why it makes sense for them to release a console next year is just because there are a lot of complaints coming up as of late that the Nintendo Switch hardware is outdated. It's outdated, it can't run new games. If you're playing Tears of the Kingdom, which is a game that's only a couple months old, like, you're only getting capped at 30 FPS if you're lucky. If you get into a fight, you're gonna go to 20 FPS. Sometimes at random times, I'll just get 5 FPS for like literally no reason. And for a AAA game, it's just, that's such an insult for such a great and genre-defying AAA game like Tears of the Kingdom. Like Tears of the Kingdom is genuinely my favorite game of all time, hands down. It's better than Breath of the Wild by a long shot, which was my original favorite game of all time before Tears of the Kingdom came out. But Tears of the Kingdom just shoots Breath of the Wild just out of the water. It's way better. Tears of the Kingdom is just, I just don't see another game being better than Tears of the Kingdom. It's genuinely such a fantastic video game. I love it. But, you know, getting off the topic of Tears of the Kingdom, it's such an insult to it because genuinely I would give Tears of the Kingdom a 10 out of 10 if it had like 4K graphics and ran at like a solid 30 FPS. I'm not even asking for 60 FPS. Just a solid 30 FPS. No sudden dips or anything. It just runs at 30 FPS all the time. No matter if I'm in a fight or if I'm in an intense area, just stable 30 frames per second. That's all I want. If they had that, Tears of the Kingdom would be a 10 out of 10 hands down. But anyway, I gotta stop talking about Tears of the Kingdom. Back to the Nintendo Switch 2. The Nintendo Switch 2 makes sense if they release it next year just because they're getting a lot of complaints that their current console is absolutely shit. You know, games look absolutely horrible on that console. A lot of third-party developers aren't willing to put games on the Nintendo Switch anymore because while, yes, a lot of games, especially indie games on Nintendo Switch, do relatively well, a lot of developers, a lot of like AAA developers or developers that usually develop for like Xbox and PlayStation aren't willing to optimize their game for Nintendo Switch just because it's too much trouble to make all these like stunning like 4K Ultra HD 60 FPS games run on a console that has the same power as a PS3. You know, it's really hard, and a lot of studios just, they aren't willing to do that. And even if they do that, a lot of their games on Nintendo Switch relatively don't sell that well. Typically, their Xbox versions or their PlayStation versions or their Steam versions sell better just because players would rather play a game at 4K and 60 FPS than on their Switch that could barely run it at 1080, 30 FPS. And I'm not even asking for like a next-gen Nintendo Switch console that can run games at 4K Ultra HD 60 FPS. I'm not even asking for like a super powerful system. I just want a system that could run games at a solid 1080p or maybe even just 4K 30 FPS. 4K 30 FPS, like stable 30 FPS would be raw, or not even that, 1080p 60 FPS. Either one of the two I would be okay with, but they've got to make a next-gen console that could just run games smoothly. I don't want to be playing these AAA titles that are one of the best games of all time, like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, on a system that literally sounds like it's going to explode while I'm playing the game. Like when I'm playing Tears of the Kingdom on handheld mode, it literally feels like my Switch is going to explode just because it can't handle it. It can't handle it, and I hate it. I want to play Tears of the Kingdom at a good resolution and at good frames, and I don't want my console to be a heater. I don't want the fans to be doing overtime. I don't want the console to be on the verge of exploding. So that's just a long way of saying Nintendo needs to upgrade their hardware. What better way to upgrade your hardware than to make a next-gen console next year? I genuinely don't see a future where gamers will keep buying games on Switch running at this hardware. I don't see a future where Nintendo can't even make games to even run on this type of hardware. Obviously, they can because they've made Tears of the Kingdom, and they've made really good-looking games like Luigi's Mansion, Smash, Splatoon run on Nintendo Switch. But what happens 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line where you're making games that are more powerful, that require more, firepower, and it can't run on your console. So, once again, long way of saying Nintendo needs to up their hardware. What better way than to make a next-gen console? And now, a game that I'm actually really hyped for is Super Mario Wonder. Super Mario Wonder is a brand new 2D platformer that Nintendo is making, and it looks so good. First off, as you can tell from the footage, it looks completely different from any other 2D Mario we've got from recent years. It doesn't have the same art style as the new Super Mario Bros. Game. It's got a brand new art style. It looks completely brand new, and it looks amazing. It's kind of got like a comic booky look to it. The visuals look very Spider-Verse-y. It doesn't look obviously as comic booky as Spider-Verse, but it's still kind of got like a cartoony look to it, and it looks phenomenal. And not only that, but the animations look great. Like the animations that Mario has, the facial expressions that he has when he's jumping around, and just in general, the way the game looks is stunning. And thank God they didn't do another new Super Mario Bros. Art style where it's just the 3D models with the grasslands and the desert, and then like your typical world environments. They're finally mixing things up a bit, and honestly, the fact that they're mixing things up makes me so hyped for this game. Because if this was just another new Super Mario Bros. Game, if they just made another new Super Mario Bros. Game with the same art style, with the same worlds, same graphics, same everything, like no one would be interested. I guarantee you no one would be interested, because we've seen that so many times. Everyone's so sick and tired of that. But now Nintendo is actually mixing things up a bit. They're changing the way the game looks, the way the game plays. There's going to be multiple playable characters, not just Mario, Luigi, but we're also going to get Daisy. It looks like we're going to get Yoshi's too. It's going to be an insane game, and it looks like the gimmick for this game are the Wonder Seeds. So this game is obviously called Super Mario Wonder, and there are Wonder Seeds, and it seems like every time you pick up a Wonder Seed, or I'm sorry, why am I calling it Wonder Seed? Wonder Flower. Every time you pick up a Wonder Flower, it seems to add some sort of gimmick to the level you're playing. So obviously you could be playing the level regularly, like normally, like a normal Mario level, but then you pick up the Wonder Flower, and Mario goes on drugs. He basically overdoses. He basically starts tripping out, and the world just goes crazy. Pipes start moving, people start getting larger, and people start shrinking, and Mario, it goes crazy. This game just looks crazy. We don't have a lot of footage right now. The game comes out relatively soon, in around 2 months. I'm so excited for the game. This is definitely a cop. I'm definitely going to be buying and playing this game. This game actually comes out, rumors, because we don't have an official release date yet, but rumors are this game is supposed to come out the same week as Sonic Superstars, which is kind of crazy. 2 2D platformers coming out during the same week, Mario and Sonic. That's kind of crazy. But anyway, yes, so excited for this game. I can't wait to hop into it. It's going to be a blast. Another game that I want to touch on is Spider-Man 2, coming out also on October, and I think it's coming out, I'm pretty sure it's coming out on the same day as Mario Wonder, October 20th, which is crazy. That's actually crazy. So we're getting 3 games in 1 week, Sonic, Mario, and Spider-Man. Wow, it's going to be a crazy ass week. My wallet is going to be crying. I don't own a PS5, so I'm not going to be able to play Spider-Man 2, but regardless, I'm still super excited for that game. The gameplay trailer that they showcased at the PlayStation Showcase was absolutely crazy. The fact that it was 12 minutes is also crazy. I didn't expect it to be so long. I thought it was just going to be a regular, 2-3 minute trailer, but it went on. That shit just kept going on and on and on. I was like, damn, when is this going to stop? But nah, the gameplay trailer was insane. You could see the symbiote really starting to take a toll on Peter. You could tell he's way more aggressive than usual. I mean, listen to this line that he says here during battle.
He's gonna wish he never came to New York.
Bro is really showing off his inner Miguel O'Hara. Holy shit, he's crazy. He's a menace. That whole sequence where Miles and Peter is chasing after Kraven and his crew of hunters looks absolutely insane. The web slinging looks crazy cool. It doesn't look like it's much different from the first Spider-Man game or from Spider-Man Miles Morales. Maybe it is different. I haven't played any of the Spider-Man games, so I really wouldn't know. Just judging from an outsider's perspective, it looks the same visually, but maybe there are some mechanics that they add in here and there that makes it different from the other games. But it looks sick. It looks crazy. The story trailer that they had not too long ago also looks absolutely insane. We got a closer glimpse at what the plot of the story is. At some point, Peter gets the symbiote, and then he starts to become like Venom. He doesn't become Venom, but you know, he starts to get more aggressive like Venom. He starts to, you know, not be the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He starts to be just crazy. And I have no doubt in my mind that we're going to fight Peter as Miles at some point in the game. I don't know if it's going to be at the beginning or if it's going to be like the final boss or anything, but I know at some point Miles is going to fight Peter. Like, it has to happen. It has to. Because, like, it's all lining up. Because, like, at the end of the gameplay trailer, Miles was like, hey, man, like, we need to go after them. And then Peter's like, no, he's mine. And then Miles is like, are you sure, man? Like, he's got pretty big teeth. And then Peter's like, so do I. And I'm like, holy shit. They're gonna fight. There's no way they don't fight. It has to happen. There's no doubt in my mind that they have to fight. Man, I almost forgot to mention the combat too. The combat looks crazy in this game. Again, I haven't played the older games, so I can't really say like whether or not the mechanics like look the same, whether the game plays the same. We don't even have the second one, so I can't even like say if the second one has different mechanics than the first one. But just judging again from an outsider's perspective, the combat looks insanely cool. It's super flashy. The combos that you could do are insane, and you could definitely tell that both Peter and Miles have different ways of fighting and swinging too. So when you're playing as Miles, you definitely have the more flashy swinging moves. Like Miles does more tricks, he does more exaggerated moves in the air, and in general he's just more flashy than Peter. While Peter is more of like, he doesn't really do all those like tricks or anything. He kind of just gets shit done. He's kind of like a brute fighter. You know, he just throws his punches, does what he got to do, and you know, it's over. While Miles is more of like, let me go under his legs and then wrap his legs around and then hang him upside down and then punch him 3 times before slamming him on the concrete. But the fact that they both have like different mechanics like that makes the gameplay look less repetitive, because obviously if you're just playing the game as one character and you're only playing it one specific way, it might get a little bit repetitive. Like the combat might just get, you know, you're just doing the same thing over and over and over, and it looks the same over and over and over, and it's like, oh man, like I've done this a million times. But since Miles and Peter fight differently, you're gonna get variety in each of their gameplay. Not only will you be switching to different characters, but you'll be switching to different gameplay elements and different mechanics, and in general you'll just be switching to different feelings of the game. So obviously while you're playing as Peter, the feel that you get is you're a brute fighter, you're a hero, you don't really have any flashy moves, you just get shit done. While with Miles, you're more agile, you're more quick on your toes, you have more tricks up your sleeve, you're way more flashy than Peter. And I really enjoy the fact that there is variety within both of those characters, because since you'll be switching from Peter to Miles, Miles to Peter, the gameplay is going to be switching up constantly throughout the game, and that makes it so that the gameplay doesn't get super repetitive, super static, and that's a really good way to just keep the player from getting bored, to make sure that they're always getting different feels of the game while they're playing through the playthrough. So that's really good, and I'm really happy that's the way the game is designed. That's about all the news I wanted to cover. That's all the big news that I missed throughout the summer that I didn't cover on the channel. But to wrap this video up, I just want to say that 2023 has been like one of the biggest years for video games in a really long while. Basically since 2017 or 2018, because in 2023 we've gotten Tears of the Kingdom, Dead Space Remake, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Final Fantasy 16, Hogwarts Legacy, Metroid Prime Remaster, we're getting Spider-Man 2, we're getting Mario Wonder, we're getting Sonic Superstars, there's Pikmin 4 as well, Starfield, Jedi Survivor, Street Fighter 6. And I'm probably missing like a bunch of other games that I can't even think of right now, but the amount of games that we have and that we're getting in 2023 is just insane. I can't really think of another year other than 2017 or 2018 that has had this many like big hit video games coming out all in one year. It's so crazy to me. 2023 is such a big year for video games, like just a constant. Hi-Fi Rush. I totally forgot to mention Hi-Fi Rush. I love Hi-Fi Rush. Hi-Fi Rush is a game that Shadow dropped at the beginning of 2023, and I love that game. That game was so fun. And I really hope they continue to pursue that franchise because I really like the characters. I like the gameplay style. I like the visuals of that game. But anyway, just a huge year for gaming. I can't think of another year. 2022, nowhere near like as many good game releases as 2023. 2021, nothing. 2020, nothing, but we had COVID in 2020, so it's understandable. In 2019, not really. Like the last like really good gaming year that like kind of compares to 2023 is like 2017 when Nintendo came out with the Nintendo Switch and we got Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart, Splatoon, and in 2018 when we got like Smash. It's like the last time where we've had like so many big hitters. 2018, we also got God of War, Detroit Become Human, Red Redemption 2. Yeah, basically, since 2018, we haven't had this good of a year for video games. And if we're really getting a new console in 2024 for the Nintendo Switch, it's just, I know it's not going to be in 2023, but it's just going to be like the cherry on top. It's going to be so fucking cool. It's going to be insane. I mean, genuinely though, like think of the last time where we've had this many big games in one year. Spider-Man 2, Tears of the Kingdom, Street Fighter, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Dead Space Remake, Jedi Survivor, Starfield, Pikmin. We're getting Alan Wake 2. I guess I could kind of count Forspoken, but not a lot of people like Forspoken. Hogwarts Legacy, Diablo 4. I don't really know if people like or don't like Diablo 4, but I know that's a big game that also came out. Just so many games. Hi-Fi Rush. It's just so many games that, and we're only like halfway through the year. Like, we're only in August. We still got 4 months left. There's still a bunch of time for big hitters to still come out. So I'm super excited for the future, 2023. Such a fantastic year for gaming. If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing. It would mean the world to me and would help me out tremendously. But anyways, that's going to wrap it up. I'll see you guys later. Peace.